Welcome back. How y'all feeling? Welcome to the Rustin Hour.
I love that introduction. Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me? My name is Gerald. I'm the community support coordinator and co-host of the Rustin Hour.
D'Angelo, go.
Hello, my name is D'Angelo Morse, and I am the Director of Services and Advocacy for He is Valuable and also co-host of the Rustin Hour.
And hello, you all. My name is William Brito. I am the Community Mobilization Coordinator for He is Valuable Incorporated, and I also, am a co-host of the Rustin Hour.
Yes. So welcome. We got a jam-packed episode today. How was you guys this week, first of all, though? How did your week go?
You talking about last week?
Your week last week.
My week last week. It was rough.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was rough.
It was
emotionally, internally, everything. It was just rough. But get back up again. We fall
Come on,
down.
give us the vocals.
But we get up. But yes, I made it.
Amen. Hallelujah.
What did you do to take care of yourself?
What did I do to take care of myself? So I actually do a lot of internal thinking and a lot of internal reflecting about my behaviors. And so what I try to do is reframe positivity, even when it's difficult to do so. I also am very spiritual, so I pray a lot. Hold on, y'all. I'm fixing adjusting my microphone, but I pray a lot. And so me believing in the idea, or not even the idea, but me believing in the power of manifestation and manifest. And that's not to say that I'm going to be great immediately or overnight, but the more you feed yourself positive energy, the more you take the time to just take breaks for myself and let me gather my thoughts. Even if it's when I wake up in the morning, all right, I'm gonna wait about 15 minutes before I call my Uber so I can just sit on the couch and stare at the ceiling, stuff like that, where I'm able to sit down and wrap my mind around certain things. I also, interestingly enough, I dream a lot. And so I had
That must be lovely. I do not.
You don't? Oh my gosh. I've been a vivid dreamer since I was a kid. And so I had this big dream, and Jamel, actually, I messaged him because he interprets dreams or whatnot. And he's helped me with the dream before, but he asked me how I felt afterwards. I said I felt jolted, and then randomly he messaged me. He was like, "This is actually there's this dream lady that's doing a session right now in Clubhouse," and so I joined it, and I basically told her my dream, and she was like, "Do you believe in reincarnation?" And I was like, "Interestingly enough, I do." And she just essentially started talking about how I am at a place in my life where I might be experiencing the same pattern again. And baby, she froze me in my tracks, because that's literally what I've been thinking about the past few weeks and how to change those patterns and stuff like that. So just affirming. What I did is I found a therapist, even though it's short term. I going to book her. And I'm, small stuff, looking at things as small victories help with the overall thought process. So that's what I did to take care of myself last week.
Beautiful. And shout out to Jamel. It's actually his birthday, I think, just passed recently. So shout out to our boy Jamel.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. All right, what about you, Gerald? How was your week/weekend?
It was a lot. At one point I felt overwhelmed and had to cancel plans because it was just too much.
Too much to do, or just mentally overwhelmed?
Mentally, and too much to do.
Got you.
And I don't know if I need to remember, but I need to. Sometimes I need to remember that I'm not 21, and that I'm almost 30.
What does that mean? Please enlighten us.
That means I need to take time to actually rest, and I can't just be on go all the time. No matter how bad I want to, or how bad I want to meet up with an old friend or whatever, I just probably can't do it.
What'd that girl on Instagram say? The African girl who always eats the chips. And she's like, she said, if you were going to cancel plans, don't worry, because if you weren't, I was. That's the phase I'm in my life.
She is hilarious.
Oh, you can't go no more? That's fine. Girl, I won't come nowhere.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, my weekend was fine. Weekend was fine. Not much going on. I'm in a transitional phase where I'm, looking at moving and things like that. But other than that, everything is A-okay right now.
We saw each other this weekend. Past weekend.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we did. We had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
We saw each other?
I'm gonna show you I'll show you the picture after.
I don't know if I saw you.
Yeah, you might not have saw me.
Well, no.
I saw Gerald.
Okay, and then I saw you. Okay, never mind. I was just out in the streets.
We
Okay,
just
never
wasn't
mind.
together.
Right.
Okay, where you saw me
All
at, Gerald?
together.
I'll show you the pictures later.
Okay, please.
Okay.
I need to stop drinking.
Okay, so again, jam-packed episode. So we have a lot to talk about, but let's get started. This is a pretty, I guess it can be a deep conversation if we get there. But it's a conversation that's kind of dominating Washington right now, and this conversation is about critical race theory. So I want to give a definition that I found about what critical race theory is, and then we can kind of take the conversation from there.
Where did you find it?
So I found it online. Probably should have gotten the website, but
Ladies and gentlemen, do not be like our co-host. Make sure your sources are reputable.
okay. But anyways, yeah. So, and then the article that I found is being, a lot of other articles are using that article as the, place to find it.
That main bitch.
To find the definition, I guess. So anyway, emerging around 1970s, the core idea is that race is a social construct and that racism is not merely the product of individual biases or prejudice, but also something that is embedded into the legal system and policies, is what I found online.
That sounds accurate to me.
That is a beautiful textbook definition.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's Will's definition of critical race theory?
So essentially that's it, but in layman's terms, for those of us who are new to critical race theory examines race in all aspects, so systemically. So we're looking at how race is implied when it comes to school systems. Think about the school to prison pipeline. Mm-hmm. When we look at how black women are mistreated in the medical field, and how black women are more prone to die of childbirth than white women. When we look at how many dialysis centers are in black neighborhoods, when we look at the experience of black trans women and things of that nature, when we look at black queer folks and our experience and as it relates to white queer folks or, other queer folks, all of those things are critical race theory, where we're taking a lens and we're looking at race from a systemic issue, or systemic perspective rather, and looking at how those issues exacerbate racism. Even if it's not, oh, you nigger this, or you can't come into this store because you're black. Critical race theory examines how these institutions or these systems uphold policies and procedures that are not beneficial for black people, mm-hmm. or other people of color, if you want to go there. But baby, it's black people.
Period.
Point blank. And that is no shade to other folks of color, however common.
Okay. Well, speaking of other other folks, one of the questions that I saw online when I was looking this up and thinking about it was, does critical race theory say that all white people are racist? That's not what critical race theory is about, and that is the thing. Critical race theory is not saying that all white people are bad. But white people also need to take accountability for their actions, starting with the transatlantic slave trade. All of this feeds from, and I feel like I've talked about this. I don't know if I talked about it on this show or my own podcast show.
On this one too.
Yeah, but a lot of the issues that we face stem from slavery. Black bodies were stolen from Africa to be economic tools for white people in America. The police system was started to capture slaves to return them back to their masters. All of these things stem from decisions and systems that white people put in place. So if any white person feels as if critical race theory is here to say that all white people are racist, if the shoe fits, wear it. But that's not what it's about. It's critical race theory is that it is a critical examination of how race and systems impact the underrepresentation or the marginalization of Black people or other people of color.
Because it's not even saying that you're racist. It's saying that let's look at this system.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, though, and I think we get caught up on that term, the ISTs and the isms, because even us, we have exhibited as Black queer men, we have in our lifetime at some point exhibited some form of racism. Mm-hmm. If it is, oh girl, your name is too ghetto, that's a form of racism.
Prejudice. I would say prejudice.
It's internalized racism.
Oh, okay. Well, yes.
Yeah. So when I say a form of, it's internalized racism. When we say, oh, you talk ghetto, that's a form of racism. So the isms is the system that's been created. Ism doesn't say you're a bad person. Mm-hmm. We can demonstrate moments of transphobia, but still support trans individuals. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That means it was a transphobic statement, or we have elements of transphobia a part of us. And I think that people get caught up, or, oh, I don't want to be associated with that because you're going to say I'm a bad person. That's not what it's about. Because as long as we keep making it personal, we're not going to progress and be able to hold ourselves accountable for the issues that are wrong with the system, which is what critical race theory examines. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're so smart.
I'm all right.
Come on, girl.
and part of me thinks that it, like you said, it doesn't mean that white people are all racist, but I think it does mean that a lot of white people, if not most white people, benefit from racism, you know?
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
So, hallelujah. And I'm going to challenge that. Mm-hmm. And this is a William Britto statement. I think that all white people benefit from racism. All white people benefit from racism. Even those who are socioeconomically at the same level as Black people, they benefit from racism. Look at sharecroppers.
There are benefits for being white and being a racist. Well, not being a racist, but racism and being white.
And that's what critical race theory, like these systems, these racist systems that have been put in place, you benefit from it. I mean, look at the crimes. Look at Chauvin. Mm-hmm. That man got what? 15 years, 22 years? Which one was it?
22 and a half.
Yeah, something like that.
22 and a half. That man should have gotten life in prison without parole. There are black men who've done extremely lesser crimes.
Selling weed.
Who have lifelong sentences. Mm-hmm. That is a way that white people have benefited from racism.
Right.
Come on, examples.
Right. So why are Republicans, in particular white Republicans, but the Black ones are following on in the footsteps, why are they so scared of critical race theory? Because by the end of June, 29 Republican-led states had considered laws to penalize schools for teaching critical race theory.
Wow.
There are some that passed.
Nine states or legislatures actually passed laws to try and disband critical race theory.
I think it's because they don't want to look in the mirror.
Baby, that's it. That is
they don't want to have to examine themselves in their racist
wrongness.
Ways.
Yes. And then to your point, why Black people fall into pursuit, that's that internalized racism. That is that Uncle Tom syndrome. Mm-hmm. That's yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir. I'm gonna do what I need to do because I need to survive in this environment right here. You ain't gonna mess it up for me. We can even look at slave catchers.
Right.
What did y'all see Harriet?
I did not, but
well, you know, in Harriet,
another story.
Of course, you know, we all know the story of Harriet. We all know the story of Harriet, but in that movie, it highlighted how there were Black folks who helped slave masters catch slaves. It doesn't make sense at all. So that's that same idea with Black Republicans like Candace Owens or, you know, the Omarosas and I don't know, the Ben Carsons and all of them. Wait, is Ben Carson still alive or did he die?
He's alive. He's alive.
Okay, which one of them is that died of COVID?
Oh, shoot. I forgot his name.
It's a distant memory. I don't know.
The pizza guy.
Not laughing at folks dying of COVID.
No,
just want to throw that disclaimer out there.
Well, I mean, granted, the way he died, it was sad, but
it was sad and ironic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. God don't like sad. But yeah, it's you have black Republican, and then there's this idea, this facade of, oh, let's just kumbaya. Let's forget that for 400 years we enslaved black people. Let's forget
but we
for
can't
centuries.
forget, because then things are not going to change if we don't look at the system.
Right,
It's not going to change.
Let's forget for decades there, or not decades, or I don't know how long it was, but there was a Chinese Exclusionary Act. Let's forget how we made Native Americans, we slaughtered them, brought our diseases from Europe, and then make them take the Trail of Tears. Let's forget that we, have treated immigrants horribly. We're all the same. We're all, I'm a human, you're a human. Mm-hmm. Baby, you kind of reneged on that statement when all of this shit happened. So now it's time. They're afraid. It's now, people are rising up. There's actually this show on Netflix that I'm starting to watch now that it was like basically how to become a tyrant. Mm-hmm. And like how Hitler came to power, Mussolini, and all of those things. These people who have been in power since the birth of America, so almost now close to 400 years, or 300 years rather. 300 years. Their power's been challenged. I mean, if we look at all the sociological theorists who wrote about history and all of those things, they talk about this, how societies, the proletariat and peasants and all of those things, how they try to uprise, but the proletariat always has, or the bourgeoisie always has a certain middle class of folks who they can persuade and still keep on their side, because I can promise you all of these powers and riches, and you become, cultivated in this wonderful society that we have, and you're no longer a part of those peasants down there. That's the same mindset that is actually in American politics when we look at black Republicans, in my personal opinion.
Herman Cain. That was the man that died.
Oh,
God rest his soul.
I kind of remember that name.
Yeah,
kind of.
I just remember by the pizza guy because I think he owned a pizza chain or something like that.
I thought you were about to say he died ordering a pizza. I was about to say, damn.
Okay.
Oh no. He died of COVID. But yeah. So. Okay, well, that kind of leads us to this next conversation, because we need to talk about Nicole Hannah-Jones. And this story is interesting because it kind of feeds into what we were just talking about a little bit. But
wait,
yes.
Before we move on, I think there's a very, very important part of critical race theory that we do need to talk about.
What's that?
So, Republicans had an issue, particularly white Republicans. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to even venture to say white people in general, because there were some white people who, and not even just white people, black people. There were people in my family who made these comments about people destroying statues and monuments that are supposed to symbolize nationalism. But these symbols and these monuments were markers of people who were racist, who basically brought along a lot of the trauma and the oppression in America. You have an issue with those being destroyed, yet you don't want to talk about critical race theory. That's a double standard. That doesn't make any sense. That's illogical.
Well, they don't have to be logical in their mind. As long as they get what they want and maintain what they want, power.
But I think part of it is because they know that history does not paint a good light of their ancestors. The people.
So you should want to have it destroyed.
And so I think that in their minds, you're teaching kids that white people are bad people, or white people are all racist people. And so that's why I feel like
I just have no idea how, that doesn't make sense to me, because you're just teaching the history. If the history is the history. It is the history.
Y'all wrote it. Y'all wrote it.
Yeah. And Juneteenth is now a federal holiday. People are talking more about Tulsa, but I know, when I was growing up, I knew nothing about that.
I didn't either, baby. I did, and I vaguely heard it, but it wasn't anything that was taught to me that should have been of importance. And I always say, if I have children, we're gonna be at Juneteenth celebrating house. What is the 4th of July? I don't know what that is. Don't understand it.
Facts.
Okay.
Yep.
It bothers me when black people too say, "Oh, it's just a day."
It's not just a day.
If you are throwing fireworks and you got some food on the grill, baby, you are celebrating the 4th of July.
Now, what if I just want to grill that day? No.
Okay, girl. Of all the days you wanted to grill on this day.
Just gotta influence the grill.
Right.
Ooh, girl, I woke up. I feel like putting some chops and burgers on the grill.
Grilling. I'm gonna go ahead and do it too.
Ooh, let's pop these fireworks.
Damn, it's the 4th. I can't do it.
Period. Do it on the 5th.
Hello, period. Do it on the 5th,
Do it on the
bitch.
3rd. Do it on Juneteenth. Do it then.
Right. Because where was all them firecrackers on Juneteenth?
Right.
Where were they?
Yeah, but I think part of it is they've already erased a lot of our history. Part of the reason why we wanted to have this podcast named the Rustin Hour is because Bayard Rustin is oftentimes erased from the history books. His contributions to everything that has lifted us to this place where we can speak openly about things like this has been erased from the history books. So. Yeah, it's kind of hard to even have conversations about this because it's like, obviously, this stuff should be taught.
And also, too, we have to think about the people who are in power. They are not critical, logical, open-minded thinkers.
Clearly.
They are capitalists. Most of them are racist.
They have a bubble that they live in.
Exactly. They live in this world. And anything that challenges that is, think about the people who sit on school boards. No accountability. The fact that these states want to penalize schools, how do you penalize an education system for educating on what's happening? Literally, there's data that backs up this shit. Literal quantitative and qualitative
I'm not even
data.
sure, like the laws that they signed and also the ones that they that didn't go through that they brought up even had the word critical race theory in them.
Yeah,
they were just wanting to erase our history again.
And the thing is, they can't because our history is their history.
It is. It's going to keep getting talked about.
It is because you brought us over here. You slept with us. You raped us. We had your children. We nursed your children.
Okay.
Your history is our history. We were just on the opposite end of the receiving line.
And everybody needs to learn about all of the history because you also have Black kids in the schools who aren't seeing this, and they get like an overview of Black history during Black History Month.
Like, ooh, Garrett E. Morgan invented the stoplight.
Right, but they don't, and they may have questions and want to know more about it, but you just have a month. You're not teaching all of the history to the Black kids either.
So, never mind. I'm not going to ask you that question because that's going to take us on a...
I want to hear the question.
You do? Are we sure? Okay.
Well, we only got
we got some time. So, how would y'all feel if things were separate but actually equal?
Yeah, that's going to take us down. But our listeners can definitely take that question and think about it.
Because separate but equal was not equal at all.
It definitely was not.
It was just separate.
But y'all can hit us up on social media and all that stuff.
Absolutely. I actually had an example here of that, in my little notes here. But definitely leave some notes and let us know what your thoughts are on critical race theory.
Let's chit chat.
Yes, we love it. On YouTube.
Send me a DM. My DMs are open.
On Facebook, wherever you see this podcast posted. We love comments. We want to hear from you. Please do.
And Gerald's educational DMs are open. He is married.
Oh, the other DMs are open as well.
Wait, the nudes, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Well, look, baby, I don't know what you and your husband have.
DMs are open.
I am not going to talk about whatever contract y'all sign because that's not my business.
Okay, so Nicole Hannah Jones. So Nicole is a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist, and she got it for her work in creating the 1619 Project at the New York Times. So she was offered a job at UNC, which is the University of Northern California.
No, sir.
I said California, North Carolina.
The University of North Carolina.
UNC.
Yes.
Why
which is
California?
So as I was telling Gerald earlier, UNC, for those of you who are Georgia natives, is comparable to UGA.
Okay. I can see that.
Okay. A little bit more prestigious than UGA, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are. I mean, when I was doing a lot of research,
Carolina is
they was really lifting this school up as like one of the most prestigious schools
in the Southeast. Absolutely.
So that's what I think made this story such a huge deal, because she's offered the job, and then Walter Husband, which is a rich white man who gave the school $25 million.
And what's his name?
Walter Husband.
He sounds like a.
Okay,
He gave the school $25 million in 2019. The school named the journalism school after him. He had a problem with the fact that they were going to give Miss Nicole Hannah-Jones tenure. And so that created this whole issue. Republicans are upset. They don't want her to have this job.
And why don't they want her to have this job?
So mind you all, she is the first and only professor in this particular position at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. The only black professor who's ever been in this position, and was the only professor to be denied tenure out of all the white people who received tenure for this position at UNC.
1 + 1 = 2.
And just to throw it out there, I am a graduate of the UNC school system. I did not go to UNC Chapel Hill. I never liked UNC Chapel Hill. Its foundations is most definitely in racism. It was built by the hands of slaves and black people in general. But that's the biggest issue with Carolina, is that you have this qualified, overly qualified black woman who has probably received larger accolades than any professor who has been in this position. She's the only not only black person, but black woman to be denied of tenure. And so she goes through all of these legalities to fight it. And on the very, very last day that they could finally make a decision, they said, oh, yeah, let's grant it to her.
The board voted to grant it to her. I do want to note that the 1619 Project really kind of talked about everything that we just talked about beforehand. So, that critical race theory, all the issues that black people was going through back then, that's what that project really touched on. And so that's the reason. It goes way back to why we were saying Republicans are upset about us having these conversations about critical race theory and teaching race, teaching about racism and all that stuff in school. It's because they want to erase it from history, and they don't want this school to have a teacher who talked about or is educating people on that subject.
And also, let's let it be known that she wasn't the one who leaked the whole story. She was just fighting the legal battle or whatever, but I think it was a school or someone there went to the press and leaked the story.
Hello. And I just admire her decision, and I'm so glad she decided, because what she has taught us, and I don't think we realize it.
The decision. What was the decision?
Oh, she decided not to accept the tenure.
Period.
And baby Howard University picked her on up. But that's a whole nother conversation in itself, because there are a lot of people who have issues with Howard and its history, but we'll plug that for another conversation. I mean, that's a whole nother examination. But what I like about that, what I love about that, is that it taught us as an American people, specifically as black people, that we can.
Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom. Zoom zoom. Zoom zoom zoom. What it taught us as black people is that we can fight and then say, I'm not doing this. Right. I know my worth. It taught me, I know my worth. I'm going to let you all, I'm going to drag you through the mud just the same way you drug me through the mud. Come on, Maxine Waters. We can do the same thing we did to them that they did to us.
Right.
And I can be fine. But you're going to know, people are going to know who she is. And unfortunately, UNC is going to have that stain on them for the rest of their history.
So, and they already are experiencing a lot of pushback. A lot of black faculty, black students that go there are highly upset about this issue. And they are trying to get the name changed on the school from Mr. Walter Husband to something else.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm going to read the statement by Miss Hannah-Jones, who said, I really wanted to take my talents and the resources I could bring them to an institution that was actually built for black uplift and black excellence, that wasn't built in opposition to the work that I want to do and me as a human being. That's powerful.
Yep.
And wasn't that interview with, I think it was
Gail.
with Gail?
Mm-hmm. Gail ass. Y'all remember the memes when she brought that Popeye chicken? She said, "Sorry, y'all."
Love some
God.
Gail. So yeah, we definitely want to lift her name up and say congratulations to this sister for getting an amazing job, I think, at Howard University. And she's going to be running that journalism school. So, and they got a good amount of money for her to be able to do that. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think she said she's taking 15 million or something like that with her. 15 million in resources with her.
Okay.
From what she was.
Oh, baby, I thought her salary was 15 million
No.
a year. I was about to say,
No.
oh, she is rich.
and resources.
Baby, hey, auntie.
Yes. So that's an amazing story not amazing. It's actually a tragic story that turned into an amazing situation for her down the line. And I think for those students at Howard University who's gonna be getting all this amazing education from her, I think it's gonna be
all this
awesome.
knowledge.
Yes.
I just also, well, that's another conversation, but
You and your other
What's the other
conversations
conversation?
today.
Just what?
because I think that just goes
So-
into the idea how you have 3 HBCUs who get all the glory and all the resources, and a lot of other HBCUs that are well qualified don't get the same amount of praise. I think that also goes into elitism and how it plays into internalized racism, but that's another conversation.
Correct. All right.
Don't be correcting me, bitch.
Okay, well, the fuck? That's why you don't remember. Never mind.
Don't know. See me this weekend? Maybe it wasn't important.
Child.
Okay.
The shade of it all.
I'm gonna catch you outside.
How about that?
Speaking on racism, no. I want to, because we need to give an update on Sha'Carri. Sha'Carri, excuse me. We need to give an update on Sha'Carri because it's definitely important that we make sure that people know what happened to her this past week or so as it pertains to the Olympics. So the weekend of the trials, we all know that she ran the 100 meter and won the 100 meter and qualified for the Olympics. That weekend, her mother passed away, and Sha'Carri actually had a moment where she used cannabis.
She wanted to smoke some weed. She lit the blunt up.
Okay. I mean,
Puff, puff, pass. I need some weed, man.
okay,
Somebody called a weed, man.
So
She was trying to get high.
unfortunately,
Britta, spam.
I'm sorry.
so silly. Unfortunately, smoking weed or cannabis is banned by the Olympic committees.
Is that also part of systematic racism? Because I don't see how that helps you in the Olympics.
It is, but you know niggas. I mean, it is a rule that applies to everybody. Niggas love throwing that it's a rule that applies to every. Okay, you might be right, but let's critically examine what this looks like as a whole. But anyways, I digress.
So yes, it is a banned substance, and usually someone who uses it, they could get a ban from upwards of 30 days, depending on the situation. 30 days, upwards of 3 years or so. She was banned. She was banned for 30 days. 30 days would have taken her out of the 100 meter competition for the Olympics, but she could have competed in the 4x1 competition. However, the Team USA, the Olympic Committee, decided that she would not run the 4x1 either. So she will not be competing at all in any way, shape, or form at the Olympics. And yeah, that's
She's still
where
fast
we
as fuck.
are.
She's still fast as fuck. It doesn't take away from her talent. But it is.
It's really
unfortunate.
sad. It's really sad because the United States hasn't won the 100 meter hurdles, the 100 meter race in years.
And we won't this time.
And it's been a very long time. And so we had a lot of hope riding on Sha'Carri to come and break that trend. So this is actually really sad from that perspective. And then from the perspective of she's been training and working towards this goal for so long. and for one moment of maybe a bad decision,
and it's hard to say, was it truly a bad decision? Was this a bad decision? I think there's so many layers to that.
Yeah, because she said she was using it to cope.
And also,
with the death of her mother.
She used it in Oregon, which is legal. So there's that too.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because if the Olympic Committee says banned across the board, it's banned across the board.
So what about the white girl who they found steroids in her? She said, "Oh, I ate some mushrooms or whatever it was, whatever she had to eat." I forget her name, but they found steroids in her system, and she blamed it on what she ate, and it was a slap on the back.
Yeah, I don't know that story, but
you wouldn't because
they probably
exactly
push it under the rug.
That is the point. You wouldn't.
It's sad because we don't know that weed enhances anybody's performance, particularly running. I don't know.
Like it goes into your lungs, like you're affecting your lungs, and
if anything, the girl shouldn't have won.
Right, that's what I'm like. I'm like, you telling me she whooping these girls' ass?
High.
She probably went high right then, but
she probably wasn't because I don't know that she has been smoking.
I don't know. Niggas be smoking before everything, before work, before.
Well, it's never.
I doubt she.
It's never come up in her drug testing. Is the thing. So. And they are randomly, so athletes. I know, especially from the perspective of tennis players, they're drug tested like insanely, like it's a lot. They show up anywhere, and you have to consent to getting drug tested. So it's not even like a situation where I know they're gonna be here on the 16th at such and such time. It's random,
and it's so sad because marijuana is the only drug that stays in your bloodstream for at least 30 days, depending on how frequently you smoke. Like you can do fucking coke, heroin, and that shit is out your system in days, and that's the sad part. There are people who are out there doing heavier drugs, but won't be penalized because of how long it stays in your system.
God, I hope no athlete is out there doing heroin. Jesus
okay,
Christ.
They not running.
How are you competing?
D'Angelo, you know it is. You know it is.
I'm trying to figure out how you competing.
They might be doing coke. Like do coke right before they run.
Yeah,
that might enhance something.
Because I feel like Michael Phelps had an issue with marijuana once before too. Do y'all remember that?
It was him. He got, from what I read on the internet, because I had to pull it up. What about Michael Phelps? That was my first go-to. Okay, what about that big bitch? But apparently his was caught after the Olympics, and so his 30-day penalty that he took was in between the time from the end and the start of whatever next competition it was. So he had time to. It was a timeline thing. That was the argument.
Yeah, that's the main issue with Sha'Carri's is that she was tested at the trial, so she had smoked during the time of her competing.
So are these random drug tests, or they tested everybody?
Everybody's tested, but they are random. You don't know when you're going to. Sometimes you'll be probably getting off the track and they're like, "Hey, you, come here."
But I gotta breathe. They can't breathe right now.
Not what about hey you, hey all of y'all? How about that?
Right. Hey, all of y'all.
Hey you, hey all of us.
Like after everybody is done running, whatever.
Caitlin need to get trusted too.
Okay.
Did you say Caitlin?
I did. Not Jenna though.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's really unfortunate and really sad. But I'm hoping that Sister Girl comes back 2023 to compete for the Olympics again.
I believe she will. She can be better than ever, faster than ever.
However, let's get to it.
However,
the other piece about Sha'Carri, we can't leave that out. Accountability, baby.
Oh, that's true.
There are some other issues that have come up. So Sha'Carri has posted some not so very nice things about
homophobic tweets.
Period. Just say what it is.
Let me get my reporter on. Okay. No. Yeah. She
he said get my reporter on.
She posted some tweets, some things that were very not, and I don't have any. So if you guys know any of the,
I do.
I don't know verbatim. I just
said,
remember like the dates.
If you support Lil Nas X, you can unfollow me.
Yeah, this was one thing.
She also said, men that wear pink are gay. X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah.
Now, the Lil Nas X situation was after his performance at was it the BET Awards when she said that?
No, this was before.
Okay.
Yeah, I think these were like in 2017 and starting at
I
20.
think this was right when he came out.
So this is when he was riding his horse down Old Town Road.
He was riding that horse. Okay.
Down Old Town Road.
Yes, stallion. Ooh, wow, you are off the chain.
This is okay. So this is during that time. Okay, so this is when he first came out. Yeah, so she said that, and I think there were some other things further in the past that she has said. So a lot of people have been, coming at her, or
As they should.
exposing those tweets and those things that she's saying. And so she's said, and I don't have these notes in front of me, but she said that she apologized, I believe.
I can respect the apology.
Yeah, she apologized. She said she was young and.
Girl, okay, now she wasn't young. the one of the tweets about Lil Nas X.
So she's 19.
No, she's 21, baby.
Oh, 21.
Yeah.
So she's 21. And so that was 4 years ago. So she was 17.
I was 17. I wasn't saying shit like that.
No, but I think also because there are things that we've all have said
Absolutely.
that if we go back in our tweets or go back in our history, we'll be looking like, what the fuck?
I agree. But to that point, I do acknowledge that she may have been young and may have been operating out of a place that she doesn't know.
And not even that she was young, but that she has some shit that she's grown from that since then.
Exactly. But I also think that it's fair for people to hold her accountable and for people to feel how they feel.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issues that I've had with Black people, whenever we have conversations about intersectionality and the problems of intersectionality, which is what critical race theory examines, tying it back to critical race theory, we are not always able to see that multiple truths can exist at the same time. It's either this or that, or that or this. For me personally, I can celebrate and say that it is completely wrong for Sha'Carri to be disregarded from the Olympics because of this, weed charge, because of this.
Drug test.
Yeah, drug test.
Failed drug test.
And what that looks like for Black women, like they're going so hard on her, but not the white girl who said that she tested positive for steroids because of the food that she ate. Sounds like bullshit. But I can also at the same time hold her accountable, say, sis, you homophobic and I don't support this. Two truths can exist at the same time. And I think we specifically one as Black people, and then two as a society, we need to be able to hold ourselves accountable in all aspects, but also give people praise and fight for them when it's necessary. And that is the piece of intersectionality. We bring multiple. I almost choked on my spit. Ooh. That's happened.
Okay.
Quite a few times. D'Angelo started it.
Okay.
D'Angelo started it. Gawk 3000.
The rest of an hour after dark. No.
Not after dark, Lord.
Baby, it's also during the day, according to these OnlyFans girls. But
Go ahead.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Go ahead.
Oh, nothing at all.
all.
Get your coins, honey.
Oh, yeah.
Are all of them getting coins? Anyways.
I hope so. If you have OnlyFans, I hope that's what's happening.
Ooh, but then we have to get into economy and markets and what that looks like. But
And
that's another
taxes.
conversation. Absolutely.
Oh.
Get about them taxes, girl.
But I see both sides of the story. I do see and understand why a lot of, especially Black queer folks, are not supporting her. I think T.S. Matheson said, fuck her. Fuck her. And that's valid. It is valid. I'm sorry. It's valid.
Yeah.
But it's also valid to say, fuck the Olympics because this shit is wrong. Like, I think that those can exist in the same, they can exist simultaneously.
And it can also exist that she's a bisexual woman as well, because apparently she's bisexual.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with homophobia?
That's what I'm saying. That can also exist or
absolutely.
coexist with the things that you were just saying.
Just like a lot of gay men are transphobic. And people be like, I don't understand. Baby, they're transphobic. A lot of gay men are also homophobic.
So that brings me to my thought is, what can she do to right the wrongs that she did in her past? What can she do moving forward to kind of get over this hump or this whole issue.
This what issue?
The issue about her posting all of these tweets from her past.
I heard in my mind you said this old hoe issue. That's what I heard.
You know, kind of.
I meant the whole issue. I'm sorry. Okay, the whole issue of her posting these tweets.
I like that better though.
Whole issue.
whole issue.
But what can she do moving forward to kind of? She can't really correct it, but how can she, move forward with the support of LGBT people?
I think the reality is, D'Angelo, she might not have the support of all the people of the LGBT community. And I think that's so difficult to answer to when it comes to account. All she can do is honestly do her part by taking accountability. How people feel about how she takes accountability is how people are going to feel regardless. There are going to be people who say, oh, she's apologized, she's made steps forward, and I think the important part for Sha'Carri now is what the support for our community look like for you, and that brings, and I think T.S. Madison was talking about this too on her show, about how from her perspective, the lesbian community has always like downplayed the trans community and the gay community. And there's been, issues with that. So it's layers to it. There are going to be people who will never support her.
Of course.
And she can't do anything about that.
But I know she just can't just apologize and that be it though. If she's going to gain support thereafter. What
does that look? And that's all up to her. Like, girl, what does this look like for you? How important is it? Like, she may not feel as if, I said what I said. This is what I apologize. I'm not about to break my neck to appease you all. And that's her prerogative. That's the decision she wants to make. That's totally the decision. Fine for her. But she also has to expect that with every decision that we make, there is an action to it or a reaction to it. So she may not.
Consequences, baby.
Of every decision.
Because that reminds me of the whole Camila Cabello thing, or how you say her name. And when she made a whole bunch of racist statements in the past on her. Was it on her Twitter or was it on what's that website that we used to use?
Who was Camila
where you
Cabello?
Post pictures and all that shit on
so
there?
Serious.
She's a singer,
Tumblr?
but Tumblr. There we go.
Yeah, it was Tumblr.
It was on
but she
Tumblr.
also did text messages.
Okay,
Those got leaked as well.
So she made a lot of racist comments.
She said nigger a few times and said nigger hair a few times.
I'm sorry.
Indeed. That's what she said. And she did own up to that.
And she did. And
she used the ER?
She used the ER.
And she used it as she was referencing Normani as well. So there's a whole issue about that. But
she said that she had nigger hair.
Oh, bitch. Them fighting words. Like, oh, bitch, we about to fight. You ain't gonna have no hair after I'm done with you.
So since then, she has come out and said she's grown and she's a new person or she's a better person, whatever.
Your publicist told you to say
that. And her
that.
way of trying to correct those actions is to be vocal about her support of like Black Lives Matter and all issues that pertains to that.
But does nigger hair matter is the question.
See, I don't need you to be vocal. I need you to have actions. Don't just say stuff.
And that's why I brought that up, because I'm like, I don't want just an apology or for her to be like, yay, gay people. No.
So for y'all, what does that look like? Because I don't want to say I struggle, but I think, well, I'm going to say, I'll be honest, struggle. What does an action for them look like? For me personally, you apologize, girl, fuck you. Like, I mean, I don't care. Like, I care, but I don't care enough about your actions because because I don't know what that looks like. What are you going to you donate money? Like, are you going to adopt a gay child? Like, what?
No, we don't need you to adopt a gay child. But you can donate money. You can financially support
local organizations
that are going to be doing the work.
Okay,
so in the streets.
I can see that because we operate in the world of capitalism. So the best thing to do is to donate your money.
Yeah, and she's gonna have it.
Yeah, she's gonna be making some money.
Because I know a lot of her
Nike, isn't she?
Her brands, a lot of her brands have stood beside her in this whole situation. So she's still gonna be making her money. So yeah, even if open up your pocketbook. I don't know. Attend a
Put your money where your mouth is.
Attend a group somewhere. I don't know. Do something. But I want to see more than you just apologizing.
Especially if you're over there eating coochie.
But if you don't mean it.
We don't know if she eats coochie or not.
No, she's bisexual.
They don't eat coochie though.
That's true.
Sha'Carri looks like she will tongue a punani down.
Oh,
okay?
Gosh.
Next case.
Yeah.
Punani.
But don't do any of it if you don't actually mean it. Is what I was about to say. Yeah. Because if it
will show.
Right. If you don't actually care, then just still be that shitty person.
Right. Just be that person.
And be like Caitlyn. This is Caitlyn. Caitlyn is
We're
a
talking
trans
about her
woman.
so much on this show.
Caitlyn is shitty. Caitlyn lives in her shittiness. Child. Therefore, we can say we don't fuck with Caitlyn.
Baby.
And she can live over there.
Be like Caitlyn.
So,
if you don't want to
that sounds like an ad.
Speaking of like Caitlyn, so Tommy Lauren came to her defense.
Lord.
Came to Caitlyn's defense today because one of our women here in Atlanta, Miss Green, she put a tweet out saying, "Don't be supporting that man in a dress." Talking about Caitlyn, and Tommy Lauren.
Not okay.
Tommy Lauren came to her defense today.
Wow.
Yeah,
because I actually have seen like there's been some videos that have come out of. I don't know if they're Congress people or what, but they're calling
was she a black woman?
Caitlyn a man.
Is Miss Green a black woman?
No, that's Green, the crazy one, the newer
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah,
oh, she white.
That's
yeah.
Okay. You haven't heard about her? She's a lunatic.
I'm just glad I didn't want Tommy Lauren to use that as an opportunity to be on the right side, but attacking. I was like, damn, I hope it wasn't a nigga that said it.
No. No, Miss Green is far from. She's borderline.
You ain't gotta call her. No.
I'm using my words, trying to use them properly.
Sorry,
but she's the biggest Trump supporter we probably have in Congress right now. So,
and Tommy Lauren said something. Wow.
And I think it's because I think she sees an opportunity in Caitlyn, because Caitlyn, they know they can't win in California, and Caitlyn is probably their best chance of winning something in California. And so I think that's why she probably said something. But I don't know. Maybe she actually do support trans women.
I don't see it. I don't see it for her.
Same. I don't see it either.
There's layers to that
using
too,
it as an opportunity,
right?
to
because it's Caitlyn Jenner. It's
gain
hard
more power
to
in that.
Say.
Yeah, I was surprised too when I saw it. I was like, wow, okay.
I need to see the text messages. I need to know the context before she actually came to her defense. I need to know what happened.
Okay.
Well, look it up, guys. It's all over Twitter.
I kind of don't want to. I don't fuck with.
Yeah, I don't think I'll look it up. But okay.
Child. So yeah, so there's that. We have a feel good story. Well, it is a feel good story, I think, right?
What, Tommy Lauren?
No.
Oh, I was about to say nothing about this feels good.
This is the next topic, because there is this man in Washington D.C. His name is Joel Caston. He is a convicted. He was convicted of murder in 1955.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's been, at that time he was 18 years old, and he killed someone that was 18 years old.
Supposedly.
So he did kill someone.
He did kill someone.
Oh, okay.
Did by law, by what the jury decided, or he actually killed him?
He pled guilty and signed a deal, or the evidence showed that
I don't know, but I know he's in jail for murder.
There we go. He's in jail for murder.
Right.
Okay,
let's do that.
Let's say it that way. He's in jail for murder.
He's in prison.
Prison. Sorry.
No, bitch. He's not in jail. He's in federal prison.
Well, I don't know. It's a federal prison though, but
baby, that man's in federal prison.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been there for about 26 years. While behind bars, he has done a lot of.
D'Angelo, he got convicted in 1955.
No, 1995.
You said 55. That's why I said damn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, listen, it's been a long day.
And then when you said 25 years, I said that's 19.
He look kind of young.
80. I'm over here 65, 75, 81.
We filmed this podcast after a long day of work, child. I haven't had a cocktail. I'm tired. But sorry, 1995.
Know that alcohol makes you go. Great.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Let's talk about substance abuse.
So, child.
I mean, let's talk about all three of us, though.
Oh, nah.
You want to talk? Go ahead.
So 1995, he's now 44 years old. So behind bars, he's actually been doing some really cool things. So he started a jail newspaper. He teaches financial literacy classes to inmates. And he also founded a Young Man Emerging program. So it's a program that pretty much support young men who are coming into the prison system. And so he's been doing all of this cool, amazing work behind bars. But he also just recently won a seat on the community advisory board. So now he is a elected official. He's actually
and that's
won
the first
election.
time this seat has been filled since 2013.
2013.
Yes. So he represents a small little community. But
They got high-rise luxury apartments over there.
I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fish don't burn in the kitchen. The beans don't burn on the grill. It took a whole lot of trying just to get. Sorry.
I can't.
We're moving on up.
But yeah, so now he's an elected official, and that is amazing. He's super excited about the opportunity. He says that he's going to do all he can. Hopefully,
That's wonderful.
Hopefully, his constituents can come into the prison to see him and meet with him about issues that are happening around the community. He also represents everybody, so I think it's around maybe 1,400 men in that prison. So he represents all of those individuals as well. So I just wanted to give a huge shout out. I think this is a feel good story. It's a turnaround story. I think.
Yeah. And I also think that it's important for us to realize that prisoners are still citizens of the United States of America. And if anybody knows about the monstrosities of the prison system, it's niggas. We know. I know what it's like. I have family members, friends who are correctional officers. I've been to jail twice. We'll get into that story later.
I've been 3 times.
Damn, 3. Oh, you on a roll.
No, I'm done with that.
You done? 3rd times was the charm?
I ain't going back.
Okay. So I've been, what Justin said, I've been to jail. I know about jail. So I've been to jail. I've seen what it's like in there. And the shit is not pretty. And the way, I have a brother who's in prison right now. And the way that they treat inmates is nasty. And I feel like
they treat like pets better.
Of course, people treat dogs better than they do people in the prison systems. And I think it's so important to have someone sitting in that role. I'm glad it was created to begin with, because there needs to be somebody advocating for prisoners. These correctional officers and these officers in these prison systems, they fucked up. They're literally fucked up, but that's law enforcement for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and the prison system there is actually supporting him, and they are providing him resources for him to be able to do the job. They are giving him 24/7 access to internet, providing him with tables and all types of things that he's going to need to be able to do this work. So,
okay, how you doing, sir? I'm just so glad that you're in this. And I do hope
we should actually do that.
That would be cool. And I also hope that what that does is it sets a precedent for other states to have positions like that. I just really hope that I hope not he, because I know he's going to do what he needs to do. I'm hoping the officials on the other side of the bars meet him where he's at to really make this position do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. I agree.
Or else I'm going to pull up. They don't want that. I've been in jail 3 times. What's up?
Why don't we just storm the Capitol?
Child, we're going to DC. I'm actually going to DC. I'll be in DC in a couple weeks, so I'm excited.
You can knock on the door.
Tell Maxine
I'm actually going. I'm going for the cannabis festival. Actually,
you're going to smoke weed, bitch. You're going to get high.
I didn't know they had festivals. Well, they have festivals for everything now. But
they have conferences and conventions and everything.
Wow. So you're finna smoke all types of strains of weed. I mean, cannabis, excuse me.
Well, I'm going to work at the event because my mom has a restaurant. Southern Peach Kitchen.
Period.
So she's actually going to be a vendor at the festival. So I'm going up.
So you're gonna be getting high with your mama?
I'm going to be fixing plates for the people who are high and needing that food because they got the itis.
Come on, Keisha.
You ain't gonna be getting high with Keisha.
I would not.
Okay.
Love you to death, but no.
Y'all don't believe this man.
Okay. We'll let y'all know when we come back.
He's saving face right now, or attempting to.
Anyways, shout out to that brother. And keep doing the amazing work that you're doing. Stop it, because they over here acting a fool. No, that
sound
brother.
like somebody from the 1975. Shout out to that brother.
But we gotta have one person at least.
Right. Shout out to that
bring
brother.
Because that's amazing, and like you said, hopefully he does set an example for other people who are incarcerated to do the things that he's doing. The fact that he's started all these different programs and newspapers and teaching classes and all that is
amazing.
Really amazing.
That is amazing.
Because
the whole goal of prison or the prison system is to rehabilitate these individuals so that they come back into society as productive citizens.
Well, that's what they say the goal is.
That is what the goal is supposed to be. Of course, it's not in the American prison system. Yeah. It's literally a zoo.
It's made for you to go back.
And this doesn't take away from the actions that he, may have committed. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened, but it doesn't take away from that situation. And
I agree.
I want to make sure that we make that note.
Yeah.
But I think that goes back to what I was saying earlier about how we need to start looking at things from multiple lenses and holding people accountable in one area, but also giving them praise in certain areas where it is benefiting,
Because he should not have killed him if he did.
I saw this meme, speaking of praises, I saw this meme on Facebook yesterday. It was like, stop referring to your sons as little niggas. They could be a scientist, they could be a doctor, they could be an astronaut, but they won't know that because you keep referring to them as a little nigga. I said, woo!
Can I say little nigga scientist?
They can be all that, but they still gonna be a little nigga. Little nigga.
You can do both.
I can do both.
Did y'all want to talk about that thing? The video?
The Victoria's Secret Karen. Oh, goodness.
Do we want to give her the time of day? It's like
Homegirl was funny though. The person who was recording, who was being assaulted.
Well, I have her name.
What's her name?
If we want to give that, but
I guess we can talk about it briefly.
So I believe this happened in New York. Was that New York? I think it was New York.
Like it because Mama who was recording thick New York accent.
Yeah. So in New York, at a mall, we only saw a part of the video.
They have malls in New York.
Yeah, it was at a mall. It might not have been New York, but somewhere in that.
I would just say
somewhere in that northeast area.
I'm a Southern belle. I don't know much about up north.
Right. But so there's a video out of a white woman. We call her Karen. She was running up on a black woman. And in the video, the black woman says that she tried to hit her. The white woman is screaming, irate.
She literally started screaming as soon as she tried to tap as soon as she tapped the lady's camera. She said, "Oh my God!"
You know what I saw? I saw a white woman about to do white woman things or white people things, and then the camera got pulled out, and she had to put on this act.
Yeah,
that's what I saw.
And it was. I'm talking about. This is probably the Karen of all Karens.
She had a tantrum. She was shaking
a literal
on the floor.
3-year-old tantrum. Like, I honestly, when I was watching, I was like, okay, something is mentally wrong with this baby. At that point, I wasn't like even mad anymore. Like, you see a lot of Karen videos. You be like, okay, bitch, you really tried it. This lady, I'm like, what? Somebody need to get her some help.
I mean, we can say that about all of them, actually.
Yeah, but this one is different because it's like the progression of everything. Like, you can literally see her go from running up and trying to hit this woman to noticing the camera to screaming, yelling, saying that the lady tried to hit her and that the lady was threatening her, which we saw none of that. Then she faints fake faints on the floor, perfectly where her purse is, so that her purse can.
That's why I say. I mean, I don't know her from nothing, but that's why I'm like this. She put on an entire
baby. So she
and
did.
the Golden Globe goes to
because when that camera went on, she turned on.
So did she laid there motionless for at least like 2 minutes or so, just laying on the ground,
screaming.
Stop recording me. Then she gets up and she chases the black woman around the store.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Oh, yes.
And where was security? Security.
She literally chased her. Get away from me. Chasing the woman, screaming, get away from me.
As she's chasing her.
As she's chasing the black woman around the store.
How ass backwards
What?
can you get?
I was just like, what the fuck?
That's illogical. What?
Extremely illogical. It makes no sense.
Well, I think she was confused. I think she thought that her initial reaction when she got on camera was going to stop the whole thing and people were going to come to her defense, but nobody did.
Because they said, what this crazy bitch got going on?
Right.
Well, people did come to her defense because the security did ultimately show up. So the police.
So who's defense?
To the white woman's defense.
They did? Okay,
What?
I didn't watch the end of the video.
Baby, so sister girl, she wasn't done. She recorded not only her interactions with the police in the moment at the situation, but she also recorded her interactions with the police at the police station when she went back to get the police report. So at the situation at the mall, they were not trying to help her out at all. They were not trying to get the lady out of the stores. They were not trying to assist this lady at all. They really was just trying to calm down the white woman.
An example of why critical race theory is needed in our schools.
Yeah, so there's that. And then the young lady, the black lady, goes to the police station to get the report. She reads the report. She says the report is wrong, and she has video of everything, proof. So the police captain comes out. She's like, I could show you this video. Oh, I don't want to see the video, is what he told her.
Racism.
He didn't want to see the video. She says that she wants to file a report on the two officers that, showed up to the incident. And he's like questioning her why she wanted to file the police report.
You
You
don't
didn't
have
do
to
your
question
fucking
me.
job,
Actually,
bitch.
I want to do a report. Then
You
do
pull
the
up that
report.
goddamn paper, bitch.
I mean, it was so bad. You could literally see this woman being chased by this white woman around the stores. Two white police officers come up to defend the white woman. Then another white police officer who is over the two white police officers not show any support to this black woman either.
Now, it would have been terrible.
Systemic racism?
Exactly. If she would have rocked that bitch in her face, it would have been a whole different story.
Right.
Yep.
And she should have been rocked in her face. Okay.
Systemic racism right there.
Lord Jesus.
I was livid when I saw that story. I was just like, wow. Ridiculous.
You need a cocktail.
Ridiculous. Right. After that.
Or some cock and tail.
Well, that too.
The shit that we have to deal with in this country sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, enough of that. But and then I went down the rabbit hole looking at a whole bunch of Karen videos on TikTok.
Oh, no,
My
I
mental
don't.
health can't do it.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not giving that.
So
Like the lady with the fireworks. But it was funny though because it was white people fucking with her. She was like, shut up! Stop it! Stop it! I fucking live here! That shit was hilarious.
My God, you got vocals over there, okay?
yeah.
That's how she sounded, baby.
Anyway, so this has been our 4th episode. Let's talk about our events coming up. We have a huge event coming up very soon called the He Games. Super excited about it. All the men's is going to be out.
Is this
They're
open
gonna
to
be
women
out.
too? Are women able to come?
All the women's can come out and be out as well.
Good.
And
Everybody.
anybody
All the bodies
else,
can come out.
right? If you don't identify with any gender, whatever you identify as
long as you
please,
pay your $20.
Right. Yeah, make sure you pay your $20.
please come out and support us at the He Games. It's on the 31st of this month. It's gonna be lit. There's gonna be food. There's gonna be drinks.
And there's gonna be games.
I'd also like to say that it's equitable too. So whether if you're identify as cis man, cis woman, trans man, trans woman, everybody pays the same price at the door.
You know what? You're right about that.
It's gonna be a great time.
The shade of it all.
So we're at the Heat Games. We're gonna be playing a whole bunch of sports. We're gonna break down into teams. There's gonna be basketball tournaments. There's gonna be all types of tournaments going on. So I'm excited about
Absolutely.
this.
And if you are wondering, if you've come to our random kickbacks before,
Random
and
Kit
random kickbacks before, and you was like, okay, why are y'all now charging $20? This does include food. It includes alcohol, am I right? And it also includes T-shirts as well as other giveaways. So it is also going back to He is Valuable so that we're able to continue to support our community. If you want to know how you can get tickets, of course, if you're following any of the He is Valuable staff on our social media, have been posting links. I did a cute little TikTok last night.
Yeah, it was real cute.
Also, if you visit our He is Valuable Instagram page, that is at He is Valuable, there is a link tree that connects you to all of our important links on our page, and the registration for the He Games is at the very, very top. Also, we are looking for volunteers. If you would like to volunteer and help set up, help, navigate the whole process of doing the He Games, please visit our Instagram page. Click on that link at the top, and there is a link for a volunteer application, and I will get in contact with you as well. Or feel free to shoot us a DM and all of those things if you don't feel like filling out the application. We'd prefer you to, but if not, we won't turn you down for saying, hey, I'd like to volunteer. Just provide us your information and all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
And this is a fundraising event, so we would appreciate if you can provide extra funds.
Yes, and if you can't come to He Games and you still would like to donate, you are still able to do so. We are still in the middle of He is Valuable month. We have not reached our goal, and we are trying to reach our goal. There are so many other things that we need to accomplish within our community. With that being said, please donate. Or if you know anybody in general who just needs access to care, linkage to care, access to social services, food, clothing, we do have a hotline. That number is 404-992-5104. So please, if you need it, if you know anybody else who needs it, there is also another link that you can fill out on our He is Valuable Instagram page, or give us a call on that number.
Absolutely. In reference to services and things, we are still giving away free at-home HIV testing kits. And so that link will be under this podcast video when you view this video. So please definitely click that link and get these test kits, because we want to help people get tested.
And the directions are very straightforward. They're not confusing at all. If you have questions, though, you can reach out to us.
Absolutely. And I'm D'Angelo on He is Valuable. D'Angelo on Facebook. On Facebook and Instagram. So definitely reach out to me if you need any type of support, or any of my two guests here.
Right, bitch. I ain't no motherfucking guest.
Okay, it's time to go.
That tells you I'm tired, Chase. I'm ready. Richard said he doing tacos tonight. So
you can't be telling all the girls that. All the girls might not get an invite.
So
it's edited out. All right. So yeah, you guys enjoy your evening, your night, your morning, whenever you're listening to this.
And always, as always, please support yourself, take care of yourself, do all the things you need to do to take care of your body, and love each other.
Love. So many people use your name in vain.
Wow. You sounded...
All right, bye, y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all Tuesday.
Girl.